Hey, you guys come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Sorry, it looked like my video had a little delay there, so I had to check it and see. So you guys come on in. As you come on into this live, say hi, hello, hey, so that I can see those of you that have joined us. And so hopefully this live is going to go the way I need it to go because I got a lot of tabs open. So if I start to have a lag or whatever, I'll have to go through and close down some of these tabs. So you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Those of you that may be new to my space, my name is Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist specifically for established Christian female coaches who desire to accelerate their income and their impact without compromising their Christian values. And so we do that by helping them to create five-figure weeks and days. So helping them to shift from five-figure months into five-figure weeks and days in their businesses. Hey, Angela. And so we do that by focusing on a few key areas in their business. And so those key areas that we really and truly focus on, those are the things that allow for them to be able to accelerate, that allows for them to be able to shift into those months. Once again, looking at how they structure their offer and their pricing, looking at how they're positioning their messaging. We talk about their lead generation process. We talk about their sales process. You guys, thank you so much. Y'all try to look cute every once in a while. Every once in a while, I try to look cute. Yes. And so you guys, we just had just amazing results this week. So I had a post a little bit earlier. Hey, Megan, how are you? Had a post a little bit earlier talking about a client that had her offer for $497. And you guys, I'm always so transparent. Usually when people come to me, oh, Shalana joining me from over there on YouTube. Thank you. And so usually when people come to me, they're established coaches. So they've already sold offers, in particular, four-figure offers. And so they know, and most of us already know we're underpricing our services. Hey, is it pronounced Simbi? Am I saying that correctly? And I see Tania on here, or Tanaya. Am I saying it right? Yeah, I would jack a name up, but believe me, it's not on purpose. So when they come to me, they're ready to raise their prices. When they come to me, like I said, they sold a four-figure offer. And I'm such a firm believer. If you sold a four-figure offer, then you also are able to now start selling high ticket services, especially if you have a proven process. If you know that if you get your clients in, you're able to take them through this process, they're going to get X result, whatever your program promise is. And so if you can stand firmly on that, then once again, you can also sell high ticket services. And so I tell my people this all the time, because I know that there's coaches out there that have like an all or nothing. Either, the only thing you sell are high tickets or you low ticket or what. I don't believe that you should only just sell high ticket services. I believe that you can have a mix. But I always tell people you don't ever sell your low ticket services out of fear. That's always the thing that I say to people. We don't ever allow fear to be the reason why I'm selling my low ticket services. You don't do it out of fear. So once again, there's a strategy behind it. So you just want to ensure that you have a strategy behind what it is that you're doing. So like I said, that client that came to me with the $497 offer, now she had other offers and offers that she had sold at the four-figure, but that particular offer that she had for $497. And this is what a lot of us do. Once again, we cram everything we know and the kitchen sink into a service. For instance, those of you that have your $1,000 service, your $2,000 service, even some of you guys with your $3,000 services, most of you guys is underpriced. And you got way too much stuff up in there. You're doing way too much, but you have all that stuff in there trying to justify the price point. And so even for her, and I'm going to tell you what we did, because this is another thing too. You'll see people screaming out, raise your prices, raise your prices. Hey, sis, you need to raise your prices. Hey, did you raise your price? Hey, go raise your price, raise your price, raise your price. But my thing is, I've had a lot of people in my community. I'm speaking for my community. I don't know what they're doing over there in their community, who's in their community. But the ladies in my community, they tried to raise their price. Or they're going to give you two scenarios. Either they tried to raise their price, and when they raised their price, no one bought, so they lowered the price back down again. Or they created a low ticket offer and stopped trying to offer the high ticket service because it didn't sell, or it didn't sell consistently. So that's one scenario. Or the second scenario is they're like, well, Bev, I would love, to either raise the price on this or have a high ticket service, but they're already struggling on, or either they're struggling to pay with the plan that I already have at this price point, or they're all on payment plans. So automatically in their mind, they're thinking, so how can I offer a high ticket service if the people that I'm serving, they can't even, the $1,000 or the $2,000 that I'm offering now, it's challenging for them to do it at this level. And so, like I said, it's usually those two people that come into my circle. And so, once again, when I see people, yelling out, raise your price, raise your price, raise your price, raise your price, I said, it's more than just raising your prices. Like I said, at least for my people, they've tried that. Or once again, in their mind, they can't even see that as possible because of their current setting. And so, with this particular client, for her, she did this. She raised it. Nobody bought, so she took the price back down. And so once again, like I said, that's usually one of the two camps that the people are in when they come to me. So like I said, I'm going to talk to you about the two main areas that we focused on with her. So the first thing that we looked at is her offer structure and the pricing. And so once again, I have my six-figure framework, my six-figure offer framework. And so now couple that with my next level client profile. Those are the two things when it comes to our offers. And so I tell people all the time, and even one of my new VIP clients, she's also a former educator. And so as her and I were talking, I said, a lot of this we pull on our education background. So even the framework and the next level client profile that I walk my clients through, it pulls on my background in education and even the structure of the framework. And so I ask my clients a series of questions. And usually when we get to about question number 3, they're like, oh my goodness, I have been undercharging. And my thing is, we know there's no condemnation in Christ, so you can't change anything that happened up until that point. But the question is always going to be, okay, so what are we going to do from this point forward? Because we can make changes going from this point forward. And so for each one of my clients, we devise a plan that makes sense for them. And this is the other part too. People have to understand when people are yelling out, raise your prices, and since if you don't, that means you don't understand your worth, and da 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 da. That's not it. It's not about me not understanding my worth. But once again, another piece when it comes to being able to raise your pricing and even looking at the structure of your offer, when it comes to raising your pricing, there's a mindset shift that has to be there as well. So even when I'm walking my clients through my six-figure offer framework, I ask them a series of questions because I want them to see for themselves versus me just saying, sis, charge your worth, which I don't even use that phrase. I don't even believe in charging your worth because as women of God, we can't even charge our worth. So we work more than Ruby. So that's a whole different story. But once again, when I ask them these series of questions so that they see for themselves, so that they have their own aha moment, it allows for them to be able to, when it's time to talk about the pricing, it's so much easier for them to now believe in the fact. And we already know what scripture tells us about believing, because if you don't believe that you can sell it at that price point, you're not going to be able to sell it, period. I don't care what anybody tells you. And so once again, when I'm asking them these series of questions and they actually now are able to see the value in what it is that they're offering, they understand the impact and what it is that they're offering, the level of transformation, they then are like, wow, okay, this now makes sense. I now see why, the way that it's priced right now was actually repelling the type of person that I wanted to work with, that type of thing. So once again, anyone or anywhere, especially if you're in a space and you're actually in a space with someone and you're coaching with them, if they're not able to walk you through that process, and once again, you would be able to experience that paradigm shift when it comes to pricing your services, I'm telling you, it's going to be a struggle for you to actually sell it at that price point. Versus, like I said, it's just, once again, my background in education, being able to now walk people through that process. And we know that even as coaches, that self-discovery part of what it is that we do. And so when they're able to make that self-discovery on their own, coaches, I'm talking to my coaches right now, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. When we're able to ask them those questions to pull out what's already inside of them, once again, that makes the difference. That's what makes the transformation and the impact so much more meaningful, that type of thing. So once again, being able to walk them through that process, being able to allow for them to see even the type of client that they actually desire to serve. Because I always say, because people say, well, Pam, what do you mean when you say next level client? Just like you're in a space where you're looking to move into your next level, there's a higher place for you. You have the passion, you have the desire, you have the determination. You're looking to invest your time, your money, and your resources because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Your next level clients, they have that same mindset. So they are looking to invest their time, their money, and their energy, but they're looking to invest it with someone that they have that feeling, or they believe that that person is going to be able to support them in getting that transformation. So when it comes to selling high ticket services, and once again, my definition of high ticket is $5,000 plus. When people are investing in your high ticket services, they're investing in the belief that you're going to be able to support them and being able to get that result. So when I'm walking my clients through these questions and asking them these questions when it comes to their offer, what we're doing or what those questions actually do is it boosts their confidence and being able to confidently say, no, I know what it is. And now not only are they have that boost in their confidence, they're able to articulate that as well. And so now it comes across to their clients, and their clients like, yeah, I want her to be able to support me, because I can tell that she's going to be able to support me in getting or achieving that transformation, whatever that transformation is, whatever your program promise is. So once again, for some of you guys, you're going to have to look at your structure. Like I said, reframing your structure or looking at how you structure your offer and your pricing. I was talking to my VIP client this week, and I was telling her, a lot of us, usually we just duplicate what we see. So if we've been in someone's coaching program, we'll just duplicate what we see. But I was letting her know there are so many ways that you guys can structure and offer. So with this particular client, she was meeting with her clients every single week. And I was like, is that actually what you want to do? She was like, no, but that was all that she knew to do. So what we did for her, and once again, even with what we did, there is a strategy behind it. So I was like, hey, you don't have to meet with them every single week. You don't have to meet with them every single week. And she was doing, I think, like 75 minutes or something like that a week. I'm like, no, if that's not how you want to do it, you don't have to do it that way. So we literally set up a structure for her. And once again, it made sense for her and her business. Now, if you want to meet with your clients weekly, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But she did not want to. And plus, what she was also doing, she was repeating a lot of information like over and over and over and over and over again. So I gave her a strategy for that, which also allowed for her not to have to meet with her clients every single week. That was another reason too why we decided for her, she took it down to 3 times a month instead of 4, which for her, that was helpful for her. It helped because she wanted to spend more time with her family and have more just time for herself. So now that week, that off week, and I put it in parentheses because actually her clients had something that they were doing, but it did not involve her presence. You guys, let me know if this is making sense. So like I said, there are so many different ways to structure an offer. And for some of you guys, when you break free of the having to meet with your clients every single week for 60 minutes or 45 minutes or 75 minutes or whatever, and your clients are still able to get the level of transformation, that's the powerful piece. And so you just want to make sure that you know and understand how to structure those offers. So we just want to make sure that the way that we're structuring our offer, one, is not burning you out, because for a lot of you guys, it is, you're burning yourselves out and you don't have to. And so once again, like I said, there are things that you can put in place to where you don't have to meet with your clients every single week if you don't want to. Once again, if you want to, that's fine. But for those of you that don't want to, and then the same thing, if there's information that you're repeating over and over and over and over and over again, there are strategies that you can put into place that will allow for you to do that. Remember, there are different ways to structure your offer. Like I said, you can do the one-on-one, you can do the group, there's hybrid, there's all different types of stuff. And so in the I'm doing my live private masterclass next week. So next Tuesday, August the 22nd at 1 p.m. or next Thursday, August the 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's where we're going to go in and talk about all the different ways that you can structure your offers, all the different ways that, different strategies that you can use that, like I said, it won't burn you out. Because some of you guys, you're frustrated with your business because you're burned out. Not only are you there, serving the clients that you serve, but then you got to market, and then you got to do all of these different things. You're burning yourself out. So we need to look for ways that you can structure your offer, structure how you deliver your content without burning yourself out, but that your clients still get the level of transformation. So once again, if you sold a 4-figure offer, if you have an audience, which you have an audience because you're here on whatever social media platform you're on with me right now. And once again, if you sold that 4-figure offer, if you have an audience and you have not applied for my live private masterclass, the link is above or below this video. And so once again, it's a live private masterclass. It is by application. When you fill it out, you're filling it out, and you're gonna be like, well, dang, it feels like I'm filling this out for a program, because I'm very particular about who gets into it. So it's gonna be a small, intimate group, because the questions that they're answering, we're gonna use those to actually customize the session. So what we may talk about in the session on Tuesday for the Tuesday group is for those people who are in the Tuesday group. And then for the Thursday group is catered for those that are in the Thursday group. And so once again, if you if you have not applied and you feel like, hey, I do want support with my offer and my pricing, especially if you want to sell more of your high ticket services, more $5,000 plus services. Because like I said, with this client, when we went through and we restructured her offer and we restructured her pricing, once again, literally the same offer, because it had the same program promise. So it went from $500 to $5,000, and she sold two within 7 days, within 1 week. So she had her first five-figure week, but more than that, it boosted her confidence. She realized, well, dang, I can do this. I can serve. I can sell at this level as well. So then, of course, what does that make her want to do? She's like, well, shoot, if I can do a five-figure week, that means I can do a five-figure day. And that's usually what my clients will do. So usually if they haven't had their first five-figure month, that's the first thing that we focus on, is getting their first five-figure month. And then once they get their five-figure month, they're just like, well, dang, and this is the thing. If you're selling your high ticket services, the $5,000 plus services, it is easier for you to do five-figure weeks. It's easier for you to, hey, Chanel, thank you. It's easier for you to do five-figure days. And so that's why, that emphasis, especially on my established coaches, that emphasis on your high ticket. Now, once again, does that mean that she only sells high ticket? No. But once again, her goal is to fill her high ticket first. Once she's filled her high tickets, then the other services that she has, that's just icing on the cake. So just imagine, let's just take her for example. If all she sold was just two of those offers that she had, that was all that she did for the month of August, for the rest of the month. You see what I'm saying? She has the formula now for her five-figure weeks. But once again, she can now, her mindset is like, well, dang, if I could do that in a week, if I can now shift my messaging, which is going to be the second part that we talk about, now if I'm more consistent with my messaging and more targeted with my messaging, there's nothing stopping me from closing, two of those types of clients in 1 day. So like I said, now she has her five-figure days. But once again, even if her goal is, well, hey, I'm only going to do two of those a month, and then whatever else she has, whether or not it's her membership, whether or not it's a course that she has, once again, that's just additional revenue coming in. So that's how I want you guys to think about it. So when you have your high ticket offer, you have the goal of how many you want to have in there for that month or that quarter, or, however it is that you're doing it. And then anything else that you offer, it doesn't mean that you stop, because the thing is, your mindset was like, well, dang, that was so powerful, in the sense of, now I get to show up and serve my clients, that your next instinct is to continue showing up and to serve. And once again, that's the beauty and that's the power in having that high ticket offer as one, in your arsenal, in your office suite, or in your offer suite. So that's the beauty of that. So once again, that's something that we're going to talk about in my live private masterclass. Once again, the live private masterclass is next Tuesday, August 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you can do the class next Thursday, which is August the 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And once again, it is by application only. And so some people are like, hey, Bev, I clicked on that and I saw the application and I backed out. Because I'm telling you, with the application, it feels like you're filling out an application for a program. Because once again, that live private masterclass is a free class. But once again, it is very intentional of who's in the group. Because in order for you to be in that group, you have to be comfortable about talking about money. You have to be comfortable about being in a room and spaces with people that are closing at $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 plus. You have to be comfortable with that. And not everyone can handle that. Not everyone is ready for that. And I'm fine with that. But once again, that's why the application is as detailed as it is, because I want it to be a certain curated space. Once again, I want it to be an exclusive community of those people that I know and understand, and they know and understand the power and what it is that they do, the impact and what it is that they do as a coach or a service provider for coaches. And so once again, the conversations in there are different. The mindsets in there are different. And so that's why the application looks the way it does. Okay. So once again, that was the first thing. So we looked at her offer and her structure. So for some of you guys, especially if you sold a $1,000 offer or a $2,000 offer or a $3,000 offer, and you want to do the $5,000, the $10,000, the $20,000 plus. If you want to sell at that level, I strongly encourage you to apply for the live masterclass either next Tuesday or next Thursday. Okay. So that was the first thing that we looked at with her. So once again, I talked about the fact that we restructured. We took her down to 3 days a week. It's not 3 days a week. Sorry, 3 times a month that she was meeting with her clients. We also talked about a strategy where, because she was repeating the same same information over and over and over again. We talked about a strategy that she could implement to where she would cut that out, which once again then allow for her to free up more of her time. And then because of that, because of my six-figure offer framework that I walk my clients through, the questions that we answer, the questions that we go over, it also helped her to raise her pricing. So once again, literally from $500, $497 to $4,997. And once again, because she's still in that 97 kick, so I was like, okay, that's fine, that's fine. But once again, that part doesn't matter. For me, it was her now walking in the comfort of knowing, hey, I can sell at this level. And once again, she was able to. Okay. So that was the first thing we looked at, was the structure of her offer and her pricing. The next part, which is just as important. So now she understood how to position her offer. She understood how to position her pricing. And then, like I said, remember, she was the same one that had raised her price before, but no one bought. Those of you that are in that same category, or those of you that are like, well, babe, the people right now, that are at my $1,000 and my $2,000 level, or my $3,000 level, babe, they're all on payment plans, or babe, once again, the next part to that. So once you now understand the impact of your offer and the level of transformation, now your messaging is going to be key, because I promise you, there are people right now in your current audience. And this is the beauty of what I do in my Revenue Accelerator. So my Revenue Accelerator is a 90-day program. And with my Revenue Accelerator, we tap into the people that's in your current audience right now, that are your high ticket clients that are waiting for you to talk to them. These same people that have been sitting in your audience, some of them have been in your audience for 2 or 3 years now, but you're not talking to them. So therefore, they're not responding to you. They're responding to that other coach and investing $25,000 to work with that other coach when they told you they didn't have 1,000. Why? Because that other coach understood the power in how their offer was structured and the pricing. And then in this next part right here that we're getting ready to talk about, which is their messaging. And so once again, you can't get mad and frustrated with them. When you know how to position these two things, with 3 areas, the offer structure, the pricing, and now the messaging, that's what's going to make the difference. And so once again, excuse me, or you may see those people commenting on other people's posts that are similar to what you have. You're like, well, why in the world are they commenting over here, but not over? I'm telling you, when you know how to position your messaging, that will be the next part. And so once again, those same people in your audience, when you finally position your offer, then they will move ahead. Although they did not invest in the $1,000 thing, they'll go through and they'll invest in your $7,500 offer. Or you're looking like, well, why in the world did they not invest in that? But they invested in this at a much higher price point. Because once again, that higher price point offer, you knew how to now structure it to now be able to speak to their needs. Because once again, the way that people at that high ticket level move and operate is different from those that are at the $1,000, $2,000, the $500 level. Once again, the people that for your lower ticket services, they usually have more time than money, right? They usually have more time than money. So that's why even for them, you're looking at it like, dang, they're all on payment plans or whatever it is, because they usually have more time than money. A lot of them are also at a standstill. And so when they come in, once again, and that's why for some of them, when you're offering a $297 offer or a $97 offer, then once again, for them, if they get in, it's like, oh, dang, is she for real? I actually have to do work. They'll disappear. And you're like, well, dang, how in the world did you just invest in this? And then you didn't even show up to do the work. Because once again, for a lot of them, they were at a standstill, and now they're in your offer, and now you're telling them they actually have to move, and they're like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. They weren't ready for all of that. Now, those that are at the high ticket offer, they're at the opposite end. And what I mean by the opposite end, they usually have more money than time. So remember, I told you about my client and how we had to restructure her offer, because once again, the level of time that she was asking her next level clients to commit, even for herself, it was too much. And then even for them. And so once again, to be able to determine when it comes to your offer, the best way to actually structure it for the type of the level of clients that you desire to serve, that makes a huge difference. Most people don't take that into consideration. And so, like I said, so now with your high ticket clients, like I said, they usually have the opposite problem. They usually have more money than time. And so 1, you have to make sure that you speak to that. And then 2, the other part is they're usually already taking action, which is the opposite of the other people. And so the same thing, does your content speak to that? Does your messaging speak to the action that they're already taking? Hello, you guys. Does it speak to those 2 things? For a lot of times, it does not. For a lot of times, it does not. And so once again, when you're talking to the people, hey, Shanine, when you're talking to the people about, hey, How is Google University waiting? How is Google University working for you? Your people at that higher ticket level, they're already investing in things. They're already doing things. The issue is what they're doing is not yielding the results, the desired results that they're looking for. And so your messaging, that's another thing that you want your messaging to speak to. Now, there's all different types of ways of putting messaging out there. And I know we always hear the thing about, give value, give value, give value, give value. But for a lot of people, they don't even understand what that means. Or you'll hear people say, speak to their pain point, speak to their pain point, speak to their pain point. Or you hear people say, no, don't speak to people's pain point, you speak to their desire. There's all of these different things out here when it comes to messaging. And all of those messaging, they're incomplete. Once again, when it comes to your messaging, there are different pieces that you put together to comprise or to compose your messages. It's just not one type of messaging that you put out there. And so one of the things that I show my clients, and those that will also be taking part in the private free masterclass or the live private masterclass that's coming up next Tuesday, August the 22nd, or next Thursday, you choose one of those dates. What we're going to talk about is, and even with my messaging, I call it from content to consistent cash flow method. So from content to consistent cash flow, because the content that you put out there will help to drive and keep you having consistent cash flow coming into your business. And so we talk about the different types of content that you could put out there and the purpose for each type of content, because there's different types of content and they serve different purposes. And so usually though, for my clients, when you see me with these testimonials about clients that are closing within a week or two of raising their prices, it's because there's particular content that you put out there that you literally get people to raise their hands. People that are in your current audience right now that are literally going to raise their hand and say, hey, I want that service. And then literally I walk you through a process of how to pre-qualify those people, because they're leads. But now we want to pre-qualify them before hopping on a call. So what do I need to do to pre-qualify them before hopping on a call? That type of thing. And so once again, a lot of people don't understand that process. When someone expresses an interest in your services, your automatic instinct is to send them a link. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And so once again, you want to ensure that you actually have a strategy. So that's when I talk about your lead generation process. There's a process for that. Your sales process, there's a process for that. Do you have a process for lead generation? Do you have a process to take them from a lead into a closed client? Most people don't have that. And so once again, until you have that, there's going to be inconsistency in your cash flow. And so your goal is to have that consistency. And so that's going to be one of the other things that we're going to talk about in my live private masterclass that's going to take place next Tuesday. Once again, August 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or next Thursday, August 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, it is by application only. Those groups are going to be small, and they're small for a reason, because once again, I want it to be exclusive. I want it to be certain people that, based on the application, they're okay with talking about money. They're okay with being in the rooms with people that are selling at that level. And then we'll talk about, how they can actually accelerate their revenue during those two master classes. Okay. So once again, you ask yourself, do I have a lead generation strategy? Do I have a way for me to be able to, if I put out this post, or if I do this live stream, or if I send out this email, that I know that it's at least going to generate leads? If the answer is no, if you sold a 4-figure offer and you have an audience, which you have an audience because you're here, you need to apply for that live masterclass. I'm just saying. Okay. So one, having that strategy, and then once again, being able to pre-qualify them so that you're able, so it makes it easier for you to close a sale. Once again, too many of you guys are getting on sales calls with people who were not even ready. They should have not even been on a sales call with you, period. Okay. So once again, like I said, your messaging is going to be very important. Does your messaging speak to those things that I was just talking about? That one, they usually have more money than time. Two, they're usually already taking action. Those are two of the areas when it comes to your messaging. Most of you guys are still speaking to your people in ways where I'm just like, no, you're not speaking, not to that next level client that's looking for that transformation, that part right there. So that is something that you want to ensure that your messaging, your content is speaking to that. And once again, not to that person that's in a stationary state and, they're looking around like this. No, you're speaking to that person that's already in motion, and your messaging is going to resonate with them because they're already in motion. And then once again, their next step is going to be, okay, well, what do I need to do in order for me to get this result that you say that you can support your clients in achieving that transformation? What do I need to do next? Once again, that's what it is. And so, like I said, when you saw the testimony about the client that put out a post and then and within 2 days, she had 87 leads. My client that I had, my newer VIP client, the same thing. I had a post yesterday, and literally, I wrote it down what she said. She was like, "Bev didn't warn me." No, she said the generation post. So, like I said, there's different types of content. So, one of the types of content that I share with my clients is how to do what we call lead generation posts, how to get people to raise their hand to express an interest in their services. And so she said the generation post, she said the lead generation post on Facebook, "Oh, Bev did not warn me that my notifications were about to go off." And that is the thing. I've shared testimonials of one of my clients where she was like, "Oh my gosh, Bill, my inbox just blew up." And that's what I want you guys to experience. That's what you should be experiencing with your content. Where once again, because that's what we call inbound marketing. When you have content where people actually reach out to you or they raise their hand and say that they're interested, that's inbound marketing. There's also outbound as well. But inbound marketing is very powerful because that lets you know that your content is resonating with your people, that your content is on point. So if you're not experiencing that, where people are reaching out to you, and once again, they're not hemming and hawing about the price point, because once again, there's ways for you to pre-qualify them when it comes to your price point. And so they're not hemming and hawing about the price point. They're literally like, "Okay, where's the link? How do I sign up?" Like, you want more people like that. And so if you have not, or if you're not experiencing that, where you have that content out there that resonates with your people like that, then what am I getting ready to say? Yes, you got it. Once again, apply for the live private masterclass that I'm doing once again next Tuesday, August the 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then there will be another one next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, literally during that live private masterclass, based on the responses of the people's applications that are accepted, because not everyone is accepted, not everyone is accepted. And so literally, we're going to talk about your offer, your pricing, your lead generation, exactly what we were talking about on this right here. But once again, we'll go into, and it's going to be curated for the people that are in the group. And so I know that this is not the norm that you see in the online space. Usually like, hey, people like, "Hey, here's the link. Everybody come sign up for my masterclass." And then you're on this masterclass or this webinar, and there's 50 people on there. It's 100 people on there. There's thousands of people on there. But that's not how I'm moving and operating, not with this, because I want it to be targeted. I want it to be people in there that I know that are looking to make an impact. There are literally people who have applied for this masterclass, and their revenue goal for the rest of 2025, not what they want to make in this entire year, like 2023, their revenue goal just for the rest of 2023. From this point, at the time of this recording is August. So from August to December, their revenue goal is $250,000. Their revenue goal is $50,000. Their revenue goal is $100,000. So they want to make that in addition to what they've already made this year. That's the level of people that are applying for this masterclass. So, an additional $20,000, an additional $50,000, an additional $100,000. Like, that's the level. And that's the level that of people that I'm desiring to serve, those that have those big revenue goals. Because like I said, then they're not afraid to talk about money. They're not afraid to be in the rooms with people. They're not afraid to get outside their comfort zone, because when you're in rooms with people who are selling $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 offers, it does something to you as well. And so that's why now, with the ladies that are part of my Revenue Accelerator, which is my 90-day program, which the doors to that is open, and my September cohorts are the last cohorts for 2023. That's why now most of the people who are in my Revenue Accelerator now generate $5,000 to $10,000 per week. They are now selling at their higher price point. So once again, they're selling now their higher the higher price point within 1 week, just like this client right here, within 1 week of them raising their prices, and they're making their investment back for the Revenue Accelerator within 2 weeks of them joining, because of the things that we're going to talk about in this live masterclass. Because I want you guys, and especially my heart is for my believers in business. I have been in spaces where people who are not even believers are closing $100,000 in a week. And I'm like, God, that should be happening with those of us that are part of the kingdom. And so that is my mandate. I am showing those of us that are those established coaches, because those are the ones that have my heart, because you've been in the game, you've been pouring your heart out, but your revenue is not a reflection of the level of transformation that your people are experiencing. And we need to get those things into alignment. And so that's why that's who I'm focusing on. Now, some of you guys are watching this, you're like, well, Bev, I haven't sold a four-figure offer. Well, I have coaches that I can refer you to that can help you to get to that level. Well, Bev, can't you do it? Yeah, I can, but that's not who I've been called to serve. And that is something I have to practice what I preach. So if I'm talking to you guys about serving your next level clients and being unapologetic and being okay with leaving people behind because you trust that God is going to raise up someone to serve those people that you have no longer been called to serve, I have to lead by example. I have to lead by example. So those of you, you're like, well, Bev, I have not sold a four-figure offer yet. I have coaches that I can refer you to that are able to get you to that point. And then when they get you to that point, then you come on over here to the Revenue Accelerator where you're now closing $5,000 and $10,000 a week. You're selling at your new higher price point within a week, and you made your investment back for the Revenue Accelerator within 2 weeks. Because once again, if we're closing between $5,000 and $10,000 a week, then you know that Revenue Accelerator is not a $100 program, just FYI. Okay. All right. So you guys, I want to come on and share these two things, these two main areas. Once again, these were the two main areas that my client and I looked at. Once again, the one that went from $497. Well, you like, well, Bev, you said you had to sell a four-figure offer. That was one of the offers that she had in her arsenal. So once again, when we work together, we end up creating their product suite. So it's usually about 3 offers that's a part of their product suite. So that's how we were able to look at that $500 offer that she had. But once again, she went from 500 to 5,000, and she sold 2 within the 7 days, allowing for her to have her first 5-figure week. So that's the beauty in when you have your price points in alignment. That's the beauty when you're able to sell not only have it priced for your high ticket service, but then actually able to sell it. So once again, if you're interested in being able to see that in real time and for yourself, then once again, I do want to invite you to join the live private masterclasses that we are holding next week. Once again, the clickable link is somewhere above or below my head, wherever you are, depending upon the platform that you're watching this from. But if not, if you don't see that clickable link, I just dropped the bit.ly link down below us. So, bit.ly/Beverly Private Masterclass, keeping it real simple. So Beverly Private Masterclass. Okay. So if you're interested in applying, once again, click on the link. This is what's going to happen. When you click on the link, it's going to take you over to the landing page. The landing page is going to spell out exactly what it is I was talking about, the dates of the 2 classes, what we're going to focus on, the 4 areas. Once again, your messaging, your offering, your pricing, your lead generation strategy, and your sales process. We're going to talk about those 4 things in the live private masterclass. So when you read through that, it's going to ask you for your name and your email, and then you're going to push the button and say I'm in, or apply. When you push the button and say apply, it's going to take you over to a Google form so that you can fill out the application. Because once again, this private masterclass is by application only. And literally, I'm asking you about 10 to 12 questions because I want to make sure that, one, like I said, it's going to be a good fit. As long as you have sold a 4-figure offer and you have an audience, then once again, I'm going to invite you and encourage you to apply, that type of thing. So you fill out the application. It will ask you whether or not you want to be text, whether or not you make it into the class. If you say, yes, I do want to be text, then once you click on the submit button, then you should receive a text message. That text message will say, hey, you'll hear back from us within 48 business hours, because once again, because it is by application, we're literally looking over all these applications that's coming in. So once again, you just want to ensure that, you're looking, checking your messages and your texts and all that stuff like that. And then if you are accepted in, you'll receive a message that says, hey, you are accepted. It'll let you know whichever one of those classes you chose. It'll let you know that, hey, boom, you'll have that class. And then the email will go out the day before your master classes with the Zoom link and all of that stuff like that. Okay. So that's how that process will go. So it is a 2-part process. You put in your name, your email, and then hit the application button, and then it will send you over to the application. Okay. All right, you guys. So that is all that I have. So if you have any specific questions for you, my inbox is open. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Once again, I hope that this was helpful. You have to look at how you structure your offer, your price point, and your messaging if you're looking to attract more of those high ticket clients and actually being able to sell to those high ticket clients. Okay. All right, you guys. I pray you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. I pray you have a powerful and amazing weekend. And I will see you guys on the other side of this live. You guys take care. Take care. Take care.